nights. Good to see everybody. Bright and early. Ken, what's up?
Well, Jay, you've been coming to SEMA for years. Have any memories of your first SEMA show?
Well, I mean, it's the first time I came, how long ago? There was one booth, it was J.C. Whitney, and he was selling X-ray specs. So you could see the bones in your hand and see women naked. I didn't quite know how that worked. Because in the ad, you'd see the bones in his hand, then you'd look at a woman, and of course, she'd have no clothes on. And I always wondered how those specs, I never got them to work properly. But it's amazing how big it's gone and how legitimate it's become. You know, that's the really exciting part to me, is the cars are now not only faster, they handle better, they stop better, they get better gas mileage. You know, as you probably know, there's been a couple of pretty high-level accidents in the last couple of months involving high-performance cars. And a lot of times you see the press, they love to get on that. We hate cars, aren't they dangerous? But then they look at them and they realize, whoa, that chassis is better than the original chassis. That motor gets better mileage than the original motor. Those brakes stop a lot better than the original brake. And it tends to calm it down. So I'm real proud of the industry for not just making it all performance, but making it performance with safety and handling as well. So it's very exciting.
What do you think's driving all this energy to make the SEMA show bigger and more exciting every year?
Well, I think it's American ingenuity. You know, I see a whole resurgence in American manufacturing, whether it's Corvette or Chevrolet. I mean, the fact that Chevrolet can make this Corvette for $60,000. I, like everybody else, I was at the unveiling, I thought, okay, the C7 will continue for 70 to 80,000, and then they'll come out with this new one for 200. For example, the NSX is $205,000, one of those. You know, and when they announced the price at $60,000, I mean, it's a real triumph of American manufacturing and ingenuity. And it's not as if they, you know, put a torque converted transmission because it's lighter, you know, none of that nonsense. They have a bespoke transmission for it, a dual clutch. I mean, that chassis is as sophisticated as anything from Lamborghini or Ferrari. You know, I love the fact that all the American companies are run by engineers. Mark Royce, he's not in a marketing meeting, he's at Nürburgring all the time, you know, just testing the cars, seeing how they handle. So I think I think it trickles down. It starts in Detroit and it goes all throughout the country.
Well, it really does. I just drove the new Mustang last week here at Las Vegas Speedway, and I'm no drag racer, but 11.2, 129 in a car that will top out near 200 miles an hour, and you can buy it for $80,000. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to see American manufacturing competing with the Europeans at, what, a third of the price, 25% of the price almost? I mean, it's great, and like I say, it trickles down to all these manufacturers here, you know, little cottage industry guys, and, you know, I live in Burbank, which has a ton of guys left over from Lockheed and all the aircraft, and they're always building and doing stuff, and it culminates here, so it's really cool.
So you've been a car guy since you were a kid. What aspect drives you? Is it the speed, the freedom, the aesthetics, the culture? What is it?
Well, I think you know, today kids have iPhones. We didn't have iPhones. We couldn't go place virtually. We had to go place in reality. You know, like when we were kids, you had to. Like now, kids sit at home and they go, hey, send me a naked picture of yourself. Okay, click. In our day, you had to get in your car, go to the girl's house, make sure her parents weren't home. Somehow convince her to take your clothes off, take the picture. Then you had to find a drugstore 2 towns away from your town to give to your parents. They would develop the picture, and then when you got the picture back, there'd be black bars over all the good parts. So it was horrible. It was horrible. So that's why we need the car. We had to get to the girl's house.
So the vast majority of your car collection, they're collector cars. Some of them are over 100 years old.
Right.
But what do you see as the future?
Some of the people interviewing me are over 100 years old. What do I see as the future? Oh, I think the future is really exciting. You know, 3D printing has been the greatest breakthrough. I have like a lot of old steam cars, and you're not going to go to a junkyard and find a feed water heater for a 1901 white steam car. But with 3D printing, you can scan one, or you can scan a picture of one and manufacture. We have used the Stratus system as 3D printing for 10 years now, and we made headlight stays for the Duesenberg. You can copy any piece, so I think it's really cool. It's really neat what's happening, you know.
Well, I don't think you see yourself as a hot rodder, but I've been with you with your Doble steam car that's got disc brakes that have been retrofitted. And
right.
You do modify some of your cars to make them safer, make them stop.
Well, yeah, you have to modify it, not to stop better, just to stop at all. You know, I mean, you can only use accident avoidance technology. So I'm like, hey, you know, you can't do that. You know, we just finished a 1910 Mercedes chassis with a 1914 Benz Aero engine in it. This car ran in Brooklyn in 21, and it lapped at 113 miles an hour. It's double chain drive to the rear wheels. We even used the original 1910 Mercedes transmission, which is pretty amazing. But it didn't stop. So I found an axle from a 29 Lincoln. We put that on the front. We put disc brakes hidden in fake drums. I've got the real axle. I can go back at any time. But now I can actually drive the car on the street. And that's